Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. We are going to start the new series in which we will see what if Naruto was really powerful. He not only gained the power of Uzumaki but also Uchiha and Senju, but it also that he also got a specific summoning from dragon and phoenixes. Obviously, he became the first dragon and the phoenix sage in the timeline. So, what changes will happen? Let's see and start this video without any more delay.
Just when things were starting to look up, said a mysterious figure sitting on top of a large skyscraper while looking down into the carnage that was shown on the streets below. You would think that people would be smart enough to listen to the military when shit like this happens. I guess there are a few who don't really understand what's going on, right, Kurama? Said the figure while looking up at the sky. The figure heard a loud snort coming from his companion. Of course you flea bags would do something as stupid as that, replied Kurama in a bored tone. Of course this would be boring after seeing it happen over and over for a few days. Some idiot would walk over to a place that they are not allowed to be in, then bam. They get eaten and mutated. It was a horrible sight to most, but to the mysterious man and his companion it was an everyday occurrence. Kurama, how much longer do you think that this will last? Asked the man. With the help that you provide for those flea bags I would say a week, replied Kurama with a grunt. Naruto, I think we should leave now that the city can help itself and resume your training in the ninja arts, said Kurama in wise tone that made the mysterious man, now named Naruto, laugh like he was being ticked by feathers all over. Gee Kurama, you sound like you're old and wise. I get the old part, but wise. As if ha 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 ha, replied Naruto, who was clutching his stomach from the thought of Kurama wise. Due to this he missed Kurama's angry roar from within his mind. However, Kurama will get his payback against his blonde-haired Jinchuriki. Shut up, brat. I am the mighty Kyuubi no Kitsune. The one that can destroy mountains with but a swish of one of my 9 almighty tails. Said Kurama with a puffed-out chest. Yeah. Heard it before, Kurama. It's kind of getting old, don't you think, you mountain-sized carpet? Replied Naruto while pondering what Kurama had said. He was right, though he should get back to his shinobi training, and while he may be advanced in most of the subjects he could get better. After all, there is no limit he can hit anymore thanks to the past events that led up to this point. With a sigh, Naruto pondered to the most occurring events that had led up to this point in time. Flashback. We find ourselves looking at a young spiky blonde-haired boy with crimson tips sitting down on his bed reading a book about advanced Fuinjutsu studies and a book about elemental chakra natures. The boy himself was about 7 with a height of 3 feet 8 inches, around about the height of most boys his age. He currently wore a short-sleeved blue shirt with a matching pair of Anbu pants. This boy was Naruto Uzumaki Namikaze, son of the 4th Hokage, and his wife Kushina Uzumaki. Naruto was also the Jinchuriku of the Kurama, the Kyuubi no Kitsune, well, the young part anyway. Naruto was born on October 10th, a day when something terrible happened, and the terrible event was the freeing of Kurama from his previous host Kushina Uzumaki. Due to this event, Naruto and his twin sister Mito had to become the Jinchuriki of Kyuubi, Kurama, to save their home village. It was also the last day of the 3rd Hokage's life, as he had performed a self-sacrificing sealing technique which would summon the Shinigami to seal the Kyuubi, while doing so that the 4th Hokage didn't have to, so he could live with his newborn children and wife. After the sealing, the 4th Hokage, Minato Namikaze, had announced that both his son and daughter had held the Kyuubi, while also telling them that Naruto held the yang part of Kurama's chakra while his sister held Kurama's Wyan chakra. Because of this, Mito had become Konoha's princesses, while Naruto had become a demon to everyone in the village. Why would people do that? Well, because yang is the darker and the more evil part of yin and yang, so people believed that the demon had taken over Naruto's body at a young age, and due to this he is considered a demon in their eyes. Now Naruto was by far demonic. He was a boy with an amazing intellect that had shown since he was 2. How was this shown? Well, you notice it pretty easily when a 2-year-old walks and then does the tree climbing exercise right after learning to walk. However, even though he was considered, if anyone noticed him, a genius prodigy that would only appear once a few thousand years, he was pushed away by everyone, including his family. Heck, his family was even worse. They ignored him at every turn and only focused on his sister, who in turn also turned into a bitch to Naruto and took every opportunity to bully him or insult him. Now, while this would break anybody else, Naruto was one of a kind. He would not ever get broken. He would never break his nindo in never giving up and protecting every precious person he could. He had created his nindo off his own perception of things. Now back to the boy reading his book. Damn, this is boring, thought Naruto, as he had already read everything in this book multiple times to make sure he never decreases in his Fuinjutsu knowledge. Sigh. I wonder if Itachi ni and Shisui ni is back from their mission, though Naruto, as he hopped of his bed and heading downstairs towards the front door. Now the Namikaze house that Naruto currently lived in was a modest house. It had 6 bedrooms, 3 bathrooms and 4 showers. The house also had an onsen in the back along with a training field used to train in secret due to seals protecting everything in the training field. Once again modest, compared to most other clans who had owned massive estates that could fit hundreds if not thousands of people in them. As Naruto was opening the door, he heard his father and mother congratulating Mito for getting the first stage of the Rasengan complete, while he on the other hand had completed the technique, even adding his affinities into it. That's right, affinities, as in multiple. Naruto himself had an affinity to all 5 main nature affinities, which are wind, water, fire, lightning and finally earth. However, while he had all 5 affinities, it was at varying levels. His wind release and water were very powerful. His wind affinity allowed him to hover, and with more training, the ability to glide or even fly. While his water affinity lets him draw water from the atmosphere like the second Hokage Tobirama Senju, although not at his level. Next came his lightning affinity. While not as powerful as his water and wind affinity, his lightning affinity was strong enough for Naruto to produce red and black lightning. He found this out when his lightning affinity had started to split, then becoming different colors with different effects. The red lightning was more faster and looser than the black lightning, which meant that his red lightning could be used in area attacks, while his black lightning was more powerful and compact, making it good for single or 2-on-1 battles. Now his fire and earth affinities was around the same level, where if Naruto trained enough, his last 2 elements could reach his lightning affinities level and maybe his water and wind affinities level. With a sigh, Naruto walked off to training ground 44, or as most people call it, the Forest of Death. When Naruto reached the training field, he could see 2 figures battling it out with fire jutsu and rapid taijutsu techniques. Now this is what got Naruto's blood pumping. A full-on shinobi spar or fight. Now Naruto understands what shinobi do, but he still couldn't help himself when watching 2 high-grade shinobi duke it out. Once he had finished his thoughts, the 2 figures appeared in front of him. They were Itachi Uchiha and Shisui Uchiha, elite members of the Uchiha clan and Naruto's unofficial ni-sans. Itachi ni, Shisui ni, shouted Naruto as he spear tackled them into a massive hug. Truly, Naruto liked Shisui and Itachi the most in the village. However, that's only because they were the only ones who had given him the chance to prove himself. Itachi cracked a small smile while hugging his unofficial brother. He truly didn't see why or how people could think of him as a demon. Hello Naruto-kun, did you finish your training for your special gift? Itachi asked, and when he saw Naruto nod his head, did his smile grew. Hey! Screamed Shisui, tired of being ignored. When he had got Naruto's attention, he had a full-on smile on his face. Naruto, did you do my training along with Itachi's schedule? Asked Shisui with a smile. He knew no matter how hard he made training for Naruto, he would always finish it and do more than he is expected to do. It's what makes it fun to train Naruto. Of course I did, Shisui ni. Who do you think you're talking to? Said Naruto with his chest puffed out in pride. Oh really? Said Shisui with an evil grin growing, which in turn made Naruto's spine shiver at the look. Okay then Naruto, since my training seems too easy, you have to triple it along with having resistance seals at level 20 feet, said Shisui with a shit-eating grin on his face. Even Itachi paled a little. Having to do Shisui training was hell. Doing it 3 times more and having level 20 resistance seals was just too hard to accomplish. Hell, even he, Itachi Uchiha, thought so himself. However, he also knows Naruto's attitude, so he knows what's going to happen. Fine, your training was easy anyway. I bet you I can finish your training in a day, Shisui said Naruto with a finger pointing at Shisui in a dramatic way. Fine, let's make a bet. You do it in a day and I'll help you with the Shunshin so you can get it to my level. But if you lose you must wear a pink toto for a week while reading ICHA, said Shisui with a grin. No way was Naruto accept, deal. Shouted Naruto shaking Shisui's hand. And in that day Shisui was depressed. His training was nothing but a little tearing for Naruto and that he had to help Naruto with the Shunshin. Itachi had watched the whole thing and could only laugh because it was priceless. Now this was usually Naruto's routine: 6:30 a.m. wake up, eat and shower. 7 a.m. training in Fuinjutsu and calligraphy. 8 a.m. chakra control with Kage Bushins. 10 a.m. medical chakra and Genjutsu training. 11 a.m. lunch and Kenjutsu training. 12 a.m. ninjutsu and secret training. 2 p.m. taijutsu and ninjutsu with Itachi and Shisui. 5 p.m. Fuinjutsu studies. 7 p.m. dinner and Fuinjutsu practice. 9 p.m. sleep. Naruto would repeat this schedule nearly every day of his life, and because of it he could safely say that he would be a mid-high jonin in terms of skills and around mid-chunin in experience, since Itachi and Shisui have many different styles due to copying their enemies' attacks and using those attacks against Naruto, so he had a good knowledge of known attacks in most subjects. But it's the next event that would lead Naruto to his new path. Flashback end. I really shouldn't really think back to that event, mumbled Naruto as he slowly got up, showing his appearance of 5 feet 11, which was impressive at the age of 13, with muscles showing through his black skin-tight muscle shirt and black baggy pants which had been taped off at the ends, along with wearing some red and black Nike runners. Next to him sat a black jacket with hood which had red flames on the edges of the jacket and 5 symbols going in a circle along with the 6th symbols in the middle of them. The symbols were what defined Naruto. However, due to many battles since he had left Konoha, the symbols had been ruined beyond repair. With a quick little stretch of both arms and legs he blasted off his perch towards a forest that was quite far from his original position. Kurama, how much more training do you think I will need to be able to reach the power you think I need? Asked Naruto with an even tone and a straight face, as Kurama had requested that he trained till he reached a level that not even the sage of the 6 paths had reached. It had always puzzled Naruto why Kurama wanted him to get stronger than the sage, but who wouldn't want to be that strong? 6 months and you should be ready, and as to why? Well, Konoha is the next village holding the Chunin exams, right? Said Kurama with a full-faced grin, which was matched by Naruto. Ooh, good plan, Kurama. Imagine the faces of everyone in Konoha when they check me out, said Naruto with a puffed-out chest while in a heroic pose. You're still a brat though, replied a bored Kurama with a shrug, which in turn made Naruto depressed, with a cloud floating over his head raining heavily with small bits of red lightning and black lightning sparks coming out of it. Shut up, I'm going to be the one who brings peace, you hear me? And not because of the fact you said I should, said Naruto with his nose held high in the air, which made him miss the tree he ran into. Thud. Ha 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 ha, said Kurama as he rolled on the floor on his host's mindscape while crying tears due to laughing so hard. You son of a you hash asterisk Kurama, why the asterisk dollar and hash didn't you tell me of that mother dollar asterisk hash tree? Screamed Naruto, holding his nose as he knows it had healed the second of the impact due to an abilities he had gained. Ha 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 ha, oh my god, a tree, a goddamn tree knocked the mighty Naruto Uzumaki on his ass, ha 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 ha, laughed Kurama while using his tails to wipe the tears still spilling out of his eyes. It's not that funny, replied Naruto with his arms crossed and a pout on his face as he looked at the now broken tree. He had to admit the powers he had gained through his travels were the best, especially his black light virus ability, which he had gotten after leaving and traveling past the elemental nations. Flashback. Captain. The ship is getting destroyed, shouted a sailor while dodging flying debris which had been torn off the ship. Well lads, we had done better than most, but looks like we aren't going any further since this is the last few moments of our lives, said the captain in a bitter tone as he looked at each of his men. However, he had noticed the small blonde-haired kid start swimming towards the storm and slowly disappearing into the clouded winds, never to be seen again, or so he thought. Damn it, Kurama. Is this seriously the only way to get through the storm? Asked Naruto as he had been swimming through the storm for the past 3 hours and it didn't look like he was getting out of the barrier anytime soon. Kid, we are close just about. Now. Dive under, said Kurama as Naruto followed his instructions only to find himself sitting on a large amount of sand and a lot of weird looking things that had 4 circles and a body and massive building that he had never though were possible to be able to create. All in all, it was breathtaking. Kurama, where are we? Asked Naruto in a whisper only due to the amount of awe he had currently going through him. We are outside of the elemental nations, which is in a dimension seal along with a barrier seal set up by the sage of the 6 paths, said Kurama in an even tone, but even he was amazed what he is witnessing through his host's eyes. That's just amazing, this is amazing, I can't believe that I said Naruto only to be caught off guard by something hitting him on his head. So much for his skills, although he was awed, which he had blamed his dropped guard on. Huh, what is this blackish thing? Asked Naruto while watching the black goo thing just sitting on his hand. Kurama, is it me or is it being absorbed into me? Asked Naruto with a straight face. Seems so. Let me take a look at it. A couple of minutes later, Kurama had finally spoken. The goo is a mutated virus that is meant to turn all things into a mutant, zombie of some sort that would follow the orders of the queen or king, while attacking anything else that is not a mutant zombie. However, you seem to be absorbing it and being able to control it, which is surprising, although you should be blacking out soon due to the rapid changes occurring due to the goo strengthening your body here, so I will see you in a bit later. And with that, Naruto fell face first onto a side bench which he would wake up to for the next few days. Flashback end. I got to admit, thanks to the blacklight virus, my training had taken to new levels along with doing the added bonus of infusing the blood that had been injected into my bloodstream to kill me. But you got to admit it's ironic who they had chosen to try kill me when the blood didn't match up to any of my blood records. Said Naruto with a shit-eating grin on his face. It had been a definite surprise to him whose blood had been injected into him to try and kill him through diseases because of the not matching blood. Safe to say he was extremely happy whose blood he had absorbed into himself. Kurama had a shit-eating grin showing his massive fangs that would make most, if not all men shit themselves at the irony of the situation. After all, the blood of the only 2 men aside from the sage of the 6 paths that could control him was now a part of his host. And now because of it there will literally no such thing as a barrier to stop Naruto from becoming the greatest there ever will be. Son of a bitch! Shouted Naruto with anime tears pooling down his face. The reason for this. Kurama, though it would be a good idea pumping massive amounts of his chakra into Naruto's newly made resistant and gravity seals, which in turn max the seals to the maximum strength. What's worse is that Naruto had a resistant and gravity seal on each of his arms, legs and torso. Now add in the fact that gravity doubles the gravity of the seal each and every time it is upped, and then add the resistance seals that make moving look like a snail's pace each and every time it is activated. Now this would not be as bad if Naruto had used the normal gravity and resistance seals, which had a cap of 10x the amount of gravity and resistance a normal seal does. Now since Naruto is a high-quality seal maker, he had created his own gravity and resistance seal that had went to a level of 100x normal gravity and resistance. Currently the 4th Hokage is only on gravity level 4x and resistance of 6x. Now because of Kurama, Naruto is currently in a massive crater with broken bones and torn ligaments along with multiple fractures and injuries, while also wearing his gravity and resistance seal at level 100x the normal amount. This brings us to Kurama laughing his furry ass off and Naruto drowning in his own anime-style tears which had filled up half the crater he was in. Screw you, Kurama. shouted Naruto while trying to swim out of his own tears and onto soft, safe land where he could prominently pass out without a care in the world. Ha 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 ha. Well, Naruto, you know that in a few days you will be able to adjust to the weight because of the blacklight virus always evolving along with me speeding up the process. So if you would kindly get back to training, we could get back the elemental nations a few weeks before the Chunin exams and go see her. Nissan, said Kurama with a slight grin as soon as he had mentioned. Nissan's Naruto started to move and walk around, determined to adjust to his new weight and resistance so that he could meet his Nissan's before having to learn more ninjutsu and genjutsu techniques. The reason for this is while Naruto has near perfect control of his chakra and elemental affinities, which had gotten even stronger, he had no techniques since he had not copied his father's library and instead only learned the Rasengan along with adding his affinities to it. Because of this, he was really lacking in techniques in both ninjutsu and genjutsu, although now that he thought of it, he might learn medical jutsu just so he could help Kurama heal him when he gets injured, even though blacklight and Kurama could make a decapitated head regrow at a rate of a few minutes, but that's only if he had enough biomass from consuming either animals or people to regrow limbs. Kurama, what do you think we should do about these fiends you told me about, said Naruto in a relaxed tone. The reason for this was after the whole Manhattan incident, he had traveled and learned multiple cultures and traditions of different countries and states. It was mind-boggling for Naruto to learn so many different cultures and beliefs. Although his most favorite was the monks he had met on a hill near Japan. The monks themselves had trained him in the ways of peace and kai, which was the physical part of chakra. It took a while to separate his chakra, and because of this he had gained a new abilities from it he learned. Due to his strong kai and spiritual energy, he could use the energies separate from each other, so instead of just chakra he also learned how to use kai and spirit energy, which he had named Reiatsu. While training with all three forms, he found that kai was more powerful but not very controlled, while on the other hand Reiatsu was controlled but not as powerful. With this in mind, chakra was the one with the most potential because it could be strong and controlled to a point where kai and Reiatsu don't even compare. Although kai allowed him to fly and Reiatsu allowed him to sense anyone in a few miles, he knew he was only scraping the surface of his new abilities. Don't own Dragon Ball or Bleach, only using certain aspects. But currently his problems were with what Kurama had called fiends, which to him were what true demons would look like. He had faced a few of them along with what appeared to be followers. He guessed the followers were seriously ninjas with a fetish of spider symbols all over their cloths and probably their bodies if he had to guess. But unlike ninjas in the elemental nations, these were true ninjas, stealthy until seen. Then they were really good opponents, although they used weapons like katanas, scythes and many other weapons he would think would be impossible to use. This was one of the reasons why he had taken to learn Kenjutsu as well. His sword was special though, as it was made from his biomass. Originally it was a massive blade that was connected to his arms, but it was way too big to be used with finesse, so he had combined his biomass with a katana he had found on his journey to make the most unbreakable sword on the planet, and best part, he could use his affinities to strengthen his weapon even more. This was proven when he had defeated multiple purple fiends during his training near the mountain of Mount Fuji. Although they seemed to have stopped, he had a feeling that the beings resided in the mountain, which had currently brought a thought in his head that he should investigate. Even though his new seals were weighing him down, he felt that he could still fight an army of those fiends and make it out on top. So Kurama, what do you think? I mean, if they attacked me, they could have also attacked others and possibly killed them. I don't know if I should check or not, so what do you think, Furball? Asked Naruto with a serious and slightly joyful tone that he had added at the end with the Furball comment. Shut up, you brat, I am the Kyuubi no Kitsune. You are nothing compared to me. You got that, you little meatbag, said Kurama with a snarl, but that was ruined by his happy expression on his face. He knew Naruto could fight him toe-to-toe and possibly win, and that was with his taijutsu and kenjutsu. Even though Naruto could use his bloodlines which he had gained from the infused blood, he knew Naruto would never do that to him even if it was to win a fight. That's what Kurama liked about him. He was always fair to everyone and gave them chances, a change that Kurama took to become his friend. Even though he was the darker half of his body, he still knew even if Naruto didn't try become friends with him, he would have had a partnership with him later on. It brought a little sincere smile to his face, although it went away when he heard Naruto's response. Ha. As if Kurama, you know I can kick your ass while I have my eyes closed and with my arms restricted. I bet I could kick your ass even with one finger, you overgrown fleabag. Hell, I bet you gained you title of the great Kyuubi no Kitsune cause of your wet dog smell, ha 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 ha. Replied Naruto with tears streaming down his face as he had one-upped Kurama, which he regretted after Kurama gave him the mother of all headaches. Ungrateful brat. I could beat you while sleeping. Well, anyways, regarding the fiends, I think you should check them and consume them to gain a bit more understanding of what's going on. Said Kurama with an even tone. Even he had no clue what was going on, but he was getting curious about it. Okay, let's go, Kurama. Shouted Naruto as he blasted from his little training ground at the base of the mountain, destroying many trees with his chakra-enhanced speed due to his original speed being weighted down due to gravity and joints restricted from his seals. But he had to come at a stop when he almost crashed into an old man who was bold with fuzzy white eyebrows and white chin hair that had reached his chest and the distinct clothing of a traveling merchant that not a lot of people would see nowadays. Hey old man, are you okay? Asked Naruto with a hand sticking out for the old man who fell due to the wind speed made by Naruto as he had stopped. I'm quite fine, young man. What are you doing here though? It's quite dangerous up that mountain, said the old man with a concerned look on his face. Hell, he didn't expect anyone to be here apart from a ninja with the name of Ryu Hayabusa. Don't own once again. However, he had seen him only a few hours ago when he went to deliver the dragon gem to enhance his dragon blade. Oh, sorry old man, but I had been fighting these purple things. I think they are good fiends at this. The old man swallowed hard and an expression of seriousness had appeared. However, Naruto was busy talking to notice. And I have had this weird feeling that the fiends had been living in that mountain, so I was planning to travel into the mountain and check it out, said Naruto while the old man had slowly begun to draw out a hidden Tonto blade from his pack ready to fight the boy who could possibly be working for the archfiend. Old man, put your blade away. I can sense you doing it even though your emotions say you're conflicted and confused, replied Naruto with an even tone. He could feel the old man's emotions and his Reiatsu and Kai levels, and for an old man he was really strong. Well, for people outside of the elemental nations. How did you know that? I had spent many perfecting silent kill techniques, said the old man, flabbergasted that he had been found out. He had completely missed out the fact the boy in front of him could sense emotions. It's a gift, you could say. Anyway, my name is Naruto Uzumaki Senju Uchiha, said Naruto with a grin. He had figured out since he had the blood of two people from the Uchiha and Senju clans, he might as well use the names. After all, he was technically related to them now. Naruto Uzumaki Senju Uchiha, quite a long name, my boy. My name is Muramasa, said the old man, now named Muramasa, with a slight bow, which he regretted when his hip cracked. My back, screamed Muramasa as he was holding his hip in pain, in which Naruto simply walked up to him and transferred some of Kurama's chakra to heal his entire body. Muramasa couldn't explain the feeling. He was in pain a second ago, now he was feeling at peace and feeling like he was a 20-year-old. The first thing he noticed was that the boy Naruto had placed his hand on his back while releasing an energy outside his body. It was similar to Kai, but at the same time wasn't. It was better. But sooner or later the feeling went away when Naruto moved from his position to stand back in front of him. Hey old man, you feeling better now? I had used some of my energy to strengthen your body and heal it to a level where you won't feel any pain, although I would advise you against doing anything strange activity from now on. Traveling is fine and all, just not skydiving or something, said Naruto with a shrug. He had seen quite a lot in his time here when traveling Europe and Asia. Although Australia was a fun place to relax, it was quiet and had a lot of places to camp. My boy, I don't know what you had done or how you had done that, but thank you, said Muramasa with a sincere smile. The boy in front of him was special. Boo oh 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 mm. What the hell? Said Naruto, looking up to what looked like a dragon with extra limbs. He had seen the old man's face when he saw the beast and he became saddened. Old man, keep safe, I fight that thing. With that, Naruto ran at the speed of light and delivered a powerful cranium kick. When he had reached the thing, it was truly, truly the coolest looking thing apart from Kurama he had ever seen. It looked so badass. Then he had noticed a dude in all black on the floor with a woman helping him up. However, he was cut from his ponderings by a big ass tail aiming to hit him into the ground. With a dash to the left, he had landed on the beast's back. His dash ability was from his black light along with glide, which with his wind affinity made it seem like he could fly, although it was hard. The most he could do with his wind affinity was glide, but since his blacklight abilities allowed him to do that anyway, so there was no point in wasting his chakra, even though because of his control and amount it would take a stupid amount of constant S-rank jutsu to even waste even a quarter of what he had. Oh look, the tail again, so original. I think Kurama actually owns that since he has 9 tails to swipe at people. So this dragon beast thingy got nothing on Kurama. Oh no you don't, you overgrown lizard. With that, Naruto jumped high into the sky, creating his first original jutsu, futon, Rasen Shuriken. With that, he hurled the spiraling shuriken of death into the back of the massive beast. Time to finish this. With that, he unsealed his bio sword and slashed straight down, splitting the dragon into 2 while also absorbing the beast into himself. Due to this, his bio sword had changed into a sword similar to the blade that the black ninja dude had across from him. The main difference of the blade though was that his blade's color was crimson with a black outline at the edges of the blade with a cross guard of a dragon spiraling around the blade. The handle also changed. Before it was just a black cloth, now it was a crimson cloth, this black diamonds going down the handle. It truly looked amazing. Hell, he could feel the power of a archfiend dragon crossbreed in the sword. However, before it was a being of pure hatred and evil, now it seemed like a wise and controlled being. Since being absorbed into the blade, it was a nice feeling for some strange reason. Well, it was until the man started to attack him for no sudden reason. Although Naruto could tell he would get his ass kicked in a weapons fight, he would still destroy the man with his pinky finger if he bothered. Could you please stop attacking me? First the old man and now some random dude who was getting his ass kicked started to attack. Man, people today. Who are you? Said the man in a cold, serious tone. It was kind of badass how he looked and sounded. Maybe he could wear a similar outfit. Yo, name's Naruto Uzumaki Senju Uchiha no. One badass and the ultimate ninja. Said Naruto with a puffed out chest, which he lost soon because be heard giggling from the woman. Before that stopped the ninja's battle instantly. Naruto, because it was depressing, his badass moment got ruined by giggling. The man in black, because it was just stupid. With a sigh the man lowered his weapon. My name is Ryu Hayabusa, ninja of the dragon lineage. Said Ryu with an even tone. Then he noticed that the archfiend's corpus was gone and that it meant he could finally go home and help his village. Thank you for your assistance, but I must return to my village to help with repairs, said Ryu with a light tone and due to his mask and headgear an unreadable expression. Sure. Also, if you pass by this village near a couple of mountains about 100 kilometers southeast, can you tell them I'm okay? I think it was called the Hidden Village. I don't know why, but yay, it took a while to repair though. It seemed like a hurricane and fire hit it. Well, see ya. Said Naruto, walking away with his hands in his pockets while about to fall face first of the side of a mountain so he could start his trek home. Wait. Said Ryu with a surprisingly pleading tone. Was there a blind man called Joe? Said Ryu. Depending on Naruto's answer would depend on what he would do. Yeah, he used to be blind. While I was there I decided to heal everyone there. I healed his eyes and most of the villagers' illnesses and disabilities. It wasn't that hard. Said Naruto with a shrug. It really wasn't hard with Kurama's chakra. If that's the case, I would like for you to come to my village and learn the ways of Ninpo for your actions here and for helping my village rebuild, and if you did help my father with his blindness, I give you my gratitude. Do you accept? Asked Ryu with an even tone. However, anyone could hear the joy in his voice knowing that his village is fine. Should I, Kurama? Asked Naruto while he did have time to waste. He wanted to see his Nisans, but learning this ninpo sounded interesting, and maybe learning kenjutsu and weapons from this man would be a very good thing. While Naruto owned him in nearly everything, the one thing he couldn't hope to beat the man in front of him was with weapons. It was amazing how good he was. I think you should. This could be another trump card, and with your dujutsu it should be easy learning them, and you can practice them while on the move. Maybe even learning how to use a bow would be good. Imagine a chakra enhanced fire arrow would easily destroy quite a lot of things, and with wind it would do massive amounts of damage that not much could hope to do. Said Kurama with a wise tone and interested posture. For once the lazy fox wasn't asleep. Good point, Kurama, thanks for the advice, replied Naruto through their link. Sure Ryu, I would love to, but how are we going to get there? Asked a curious Naruto until he heard Rotter Blades and the woman from before flying it. Get on you two, next stop Hidden Village. With that both Ryu and Naruto appeared on the flying machine, which had started flying towards the Hayabusa village. Time skip 7 weeks. Wait for it. Dive now, said Kurama while Naruto once again dived under the water to find himself on land. And in that situation Naruto had announced his return. Naruto Uzumaki Senju Uchiha, the first ever Dragon Phoenix Sage, has returned. What he hell, said Naruto while blinking at what he was seeing. It looked like an execution, but no one was supportive of it. I wonder what's going on. Walking up from behind the large group, he heard some mummers saying, "No, not the hero of waves, or why him, he saved us all." And a bit of, "Damn Gato, that filthy bastard." All from that Naruto knew this wasn't right. He knew that the man being held up right now was innocent, and the one holding the execution was the one in wrong, so, as Naruto Uzumaki, he won't let it happen. "Hey midget bastard!" screamed Naruto, drawing the attention of everyone there along with Gato with saying the supposed crimes of the man at the execution stake. After the scream, everyone stopped and looked to the one who had said it, only to see a boy about 13 to 14 who was about 5 feet 11 with spiky blonde hair with crimson colored tips, wearing a black hoodie with red lines going throughout the whole jacket. Looks like design Kurama's chakra mode, just not the actual transformation. However, when the red lines go to his stomach, it looks like there is an eradicate design on his stomach of a spiral with a lot squiggles surrounding it, along with 2 pointy fang-like things pointing down towards the ground. His pants were simpler, with just plain black pants that reach his ankle and cover the top part of the shoes he is currently wearing, which would be his original Nikes of mainly black with red. All in all, he looked like someone who was just badass from just his clothing. However, Gato had to get this execution out of the way and take control of this place before Don, who said evil was easy. Then he remembered what the brat had said. "What did you call me? Kill the stupid brat now. Whoever does get $1 million right here, right now," screamed Gato while red in the face due to the anger he currently had at the stupid little brat. "You heard the boss. Let's kill the fucker," screamed a bandit who had charged in, thinking he was getting $1 million in a few seconds. How wrong. To Naruto, the bandits charging at him looked like they were walking at a snail's pace. No, seriously, without his dujutsu this was pathetic. I mean seriously, he could fall asleep and then kick their asses. Oh well. With a tilt of his head, he saw a blade fly past him, which he chooses to ignore in favor of kneeing the bandit in the gut. What happened next surprised him. The bandit seriously flew back at the speed of sound due to the strength of the hit Naruto had given him. Because of this, that single bandit flew into his colleges and killed them all due to the impact. Everyone just stared at that. This little kid, even though he was quite tall, need a man with such strength that he killed him in his colleges due to the speed he was sent flying. It was amazing and kinda scary. What if he wanted to work for Gato? Some people started to cry. I mean, who would turn down easy money? No one, that's who. "You midget bastard, let the guy go before I tear your goddamn head off," said Naruto with bored tone. I mean seriously, his first fight he killed a whole group of bandits with one strike he was holding back on. Seriously, this sucks. "Unless the people here think you deserve it," said Naruto in an afterthought. Because of this, Gato started sweating. This fucking kid killed all his hired muscle in 10 seconds. What the hell did he do to deserve this? Get me as an author laughing face. Wait kid, how about a deal? Said Gato with a slight grin, knowing no one turned him down on his offers. At this the people of Wave started holding their children closer while the man at the stake was looking down at the kid with a slight smile, which a few people noticed. If you work for me, I will pay you 10,000 yen an hour, 1 yen equals $1 just to make it easier, and as a bonus if you kill this man brutally I will give you some slaves to please yourself. What do you say? Said Gato with shit-eating grin on his face. Not way someone would turn down high. The hell you take me for, asshole? I'm not going to do shit for you. My name is Naruto Uzumaki and I will always help the ones in need, and I will always protect those close to me. So take your offer with you to hell, cuz you just pissed me off, you asshole. Said Naruto in a pissed off tone with a hint of rage and anger in it. At that moment the people of the wave started to cry. The heavens must have sent this boy to save them. There was just no way people do this for no reason. While people were thinking these thoughts, Gato in a last-ditch effort grabbed his cane and a sword from his dead bandits and held it at Kaisa's throat in attempt at stopping the blonde-haired monster from attacking him. Step one more food closer and he dies. Said Gato, who was grinning like a loon thinking he would now be safe. How wrong? Who dies? Asked Naruto from behind Gato. At this Gato attempted at slicing Kaisa's neck. It would have worked if he was still there. At this Gato looks up to see Kaisa and his family hugging together with tears of joy pooling down their faces. At this Gato looked up at his soon-to-be killer, which now looked like a god with how the light illuminated him. Naruto took no time in lifting the midget up with one hand. Gato, I don't know you at all, but from the way the people here talk about you and your previous actions tell me that you are nothing but scum. But I don't believe it. At this the crowd was dead silent. Was their new hero going to help Gato? Was him being nice all an act? They hope not, no. You are worse than scum. Trying to break families apart, crushing all their hope, no. You don't deserve to be scum because you are no longer a human. You are a sin itself that I will kill to help others. I'm not naive enough that everyone should get a second chance. However, I do give everyone a second chance, but you blew it away. So sorry Gato, but your time ends now, said Naruto in a straight face with a depressed tone. He slowly lifted Gato up, who by the way was shouting angry things, and threw him in the air and bio-bombed him while also absorbing Gato's knowledge for bank statements, his slavery rings and his businesses. He probably will give most of the money Gato owns to the Wave and a few businesses to Wave as well. Sigh, well that's over, said Naruto in a depressed tone. He hated killing. It truly was one thing he hated with a passion, but it was a must sometimes. A few seconds after Naruto killed Gato, the people of Wave jumped up and chanted, "Hero," while grabbing Naruto and throwing him up. It truly made Naruto feel better to know that he was considered a hero here, unlike his hometown. Flashback before Naruto left age 10. Demon! Shouted a group of villagers trying to capture the Kyuubi brat. No, not their princess, but the demon boy. Why? Why do you all want to hurt me? Screamed Naruto. All throughout his life he had gained only pain and betrayal. The villagers had always hurt him, always called him names, and had always made life hard for him. You would think that being the son of the 4th Hokage would help him out, but no. Even the 4th Hokage and his wife didn't help Naruto. To them Naruto was a failure in both a son and likely ninja, although they haven't even trained Naruto, thus they don't know how far ahead Naruto is truly from Mito in everything, and the kicker is they ignore the fact he gets beaten up. Hell, they don't even care. Then the betrayal of the Ichiraku family. Naruto always thought that he was welcomed there until he found out they put poison in his ramen. That hurt Naruto the most. All those smiles while he was eating were fake, and they truly were smiling for his death due poison. It truly made him sad. Then the next people he cared about were his godparents Jiraiya and Tsunade. Tsunade didn't even try to be a godmother to him, only to Mito, but Jiraiya on the other had tried to at least talk to Naruto, but Minato the 4th Hokage always got him to tell stories to Mito about him. At least Jiraiya didn't brush him off and tried to help him. That thought brought a smile to his face. There will be people who will accept him, he just has to find them. Jiraiya was proof, he just needed to get to know him. What's the demon smiling about? asked a villager who had brought a kitchen knife to stab the child through the stomach for killing his cousin's wife's sister niece cousin's child. He was rewarded with silence. When he had turned around, the only thing he had saw was two gleaming red eyes with three black tomo spinning slowly. After that he fell to the ground unconscious. Naruto only looked in the pair of eyes, and slowly he smiled a smile that reached his eyes, and with that Naruto ran to them and gave them a hug while both of the owners with the red eyes returned it. Yes, Naruto now knows it is possible to get people to accept him if he tries hard enough. With tears streaming down Naruto's face, he slowly falls asleep hugging his new unofficial knee-sans. Flashback end. With a smile, Naruto was let down so his feet were touching the ground below him. With a fire in his eyes, Naruto shouted a few words that made the villagers tear with joy. The wave is free. And with that there was a party that ranged for 3 days and nights, all while celebrating a new hero of the wave. Which brings us to Naruto sleeping on a bar table with a bottle of sake held in his hand, due to his blacklight virus, which he now considers a bloodline. And Kurama, he could never get truly drunk, and he can enjoy the taste of sake when he celebrates and not accidentally kill anyone while drunk. I mean, what do you get when a drunk person with strength that can shatter mountains gets pissed off and tipsy? Total destruction in general area and a few miles around it. Truly Naruto enjoys life. Excuse me, said a voice that sounded like he met his superhero for the first time. When Naruto looked down, he saw a kid with a bucket hat wearing light blue overalls with a tan shirt underneath looking up at him with admiration. It truly warmed his heart that he saved this kid from feeling the pain Gato would have surely done if he hadn't helped out. Yes? Asked Naruto with a slight smile and a relaxed posture. I mean, when you are nearly indestructible, it is kinda hard not to enjoy being relaxed in a safe area, even though it's not a good thing to do. You're the hero of the wave, right? Asked the kid with hope growing in his eyes. Along with his eyes, he could also tell that there was excitement in them as well. Yay, that's me. Whatcha need, little guy? Asked Naruto with his smile still in place. Oh. My two-san told me how you beat up Gato and saved everyone along with the previous hero of the wave. That's so cool, and because of that you have to see what the others have done outside. Look, said the child with energy that only children could possess. Ha ha ha, okay, I'm coming, said Naruto with a small grin on his face as he stood up and left a generous tip for the bar worker before he walked out following the small child. They had walked until they had seen what was built in the middle of the small village, and what it was shocked him. It was a picture of him with his arms crossed and a smile on his face looking out toward the front of the village. It was amazing they did this in only 3 days while drunk. And the statue had been made with almost perfect detail. They even had the symbols on his back, which most had not noticed while he was beating Gato. The symbols was a 6 magatamas on the outside in a circle, then on the inside there was the kanji for the names of all the tailed beasts, going from the first tail Shukaku, Matabi, Isobu, Son Goku, Kakuo, Seiken, Chomei, Gyuki, and finally his partner Kurama, and in the middle of it was 3 connected tomos. No one really knows what that means because Naruto is the only one who knew what it means. Still, it was nice seeing people doing it for him. While Naruto was pondering, he heard a few people talk about making a bridge so their trade could be a lot more easier and better. Listening to their points, Naruto had an idea about that. After finding out where they were making the bridge, which was at the front of the village, Naruto waited till everyone went to sleep. With everyone asleep, Naruto continued with his plan. Standing in front of an edge of a cliff, Naruto put his hands together and guided chakra into the ground. After a few seconds of waiting, hundreds of roots shot from the cliff face and connected with the other side. Forcing more chakra in, he made the wood clean itself so it was flat and straight, along with being shining, which signaled that the wood being used was a special type of wood that was more durable than steel and it was resistant to fire. After that, he made more roots turn into fences that surrounded the bridge to make sure it was as safe as it could get. It took around about an hour because Naruto actually had no jutsu or way to train his Mokuton chakra, so it was easier to use. Currently he was finishing up on the bridge by adding supporters underneath the bridge. Even though it wasn't necessary, it was just so the people felt safe going across the bridge. With the bridge done, Naruto decided to fall asleep while leaning against a fence he had made. Soon soft snoring was heard coming from Naruto. What he didn't know was that the small child from before was watching the whole thing. Moving away from Naruto's spot, he quickly gathered people who were still awake to get everyone else to see something Naruto did. The villagers did so in a few minutes, and when everyone saw the bridge, they smiled and waited for the child to wake up tomorrow. When Naruto came to, the first thing he saw was that there was people surrounding him. He first thought he was under attack until he saw he was on his bridge. Hi everyone, Naruto spoke, still half asleep. He slowly got up and got into a massive group hug with nearly everyone in the wave. It was kinda cool, everyone liked him and all. Kid, said an old man by the name of Tanzuna, which Naruto heard when he was listening to the plans of the bridge yesterday. You are truly an amazing child, thank you for this, it really is amazing you would go so far for us. Complete strangers, so with 100% support, everyone thanks you for your actions, said Tanzuna with a smile. He couldn't explain the feeling he was feeling. His daughter still had her husband and his grandchild still had his father, it was amazing. No problem guys, said Naruto, rubbing the back of his head with a hand while standing up. Oh, also I'm letting you all name the bridge, okay? But also I got to go, I only planned to stay here at least 5 days and I better get going, so thanks for all your kind words and I'll maybe one day see you all again later, said Naruto as he started to walk away until he couldn't be seen due to the forests. That is until Naruto ran back while one again rubbing his head. Oh, also the bridge is made of a special wood that is stronger than steel and along with being fireproof, so no need to add anything to it, okay? Said Naruto with a big smile on his face. So see y'all later, again, said Naruto as he dashed into the forest with cage-level speed, which was once again restricted of his usual speed, but while he was running he still heard the name of the bridge and smiled. He heard the cheers of the new name. The Great Naruto Bridge. It brought more joy to him all his life. He was fighting against others, trying to make them see him for him and not the furball inside of him. No objection to being called furball. Yep, Kurama's asleep, lazy asshole. At that point he heard a slight grumble from his mind. Sign, oh well, summoning jutsu. And with that a poof could be heard and a small phoenix had appeared. Once the small animal saw Naruto, it nested in his hair, which miraculously didn't set his hair on fire. With a cute squeaky voice the little phoenix asked why she was here. Naruto, Ni-san, why did you summon me? Squeaked the little firebird. Hey Rai, I was wondering if you could scout ahead and tell me how far Konoha would be. After that I'll give you some sweats, okay? Said Naruto in a loving way. He truly loved his summons, both the dragons and phoenixes. They made him feel safe, along with the grumpy fox, but he won't tell him that. Too late, heard it, said Kurama with a smirk. He also wouldn't say that he too cared for Naruto. And I heard that foosball, said Naruto with a smile. Okay. Ni-san, it'll look. Also mommy wants to see you soon, said the tiny phoenix as she flew off. Naruto smiled. He truly did love his unofficial family, and with that he set off to Konoha.